Roberto and De Zerbi are the same man, the same person. I know very well what I need to work, what I need to wake up happy in the morning. I believe in myself. I believe to be a good man. I believe in myself as a coach. I have to show my quality every day. When I lose the energy, the attitude to learn something more, something else, I finish. When I think of myself, of my career 2 years ago, to become a Premier League coach, I felt emotion, no? In a different country, in different language. I am a normal coach, not a big coach. To come in Premier League, for me has been a proud, important challenge.
Roberto coming in has been pretty amazing. I mean, he is an elite head coach. His track record, when we looked into it in a lot of detail, was exceptionally good in the latter years at Shakhtar Donetsk and at Sassuolo. But I didn't quite realise the impact he would have when he came in.
I'd never forget one of the first evenings that I had with the gaffer. We went out in Brighton to have a meal. He had the salt and pepper and he was moving it in the glasses and he was telling me about certain patterns and how he sees the game. And I'm like, this is the first time I've really sat down and spoke, and all he wanted to speak about was football. And I loved it.
Early on, Roberto showed a lot of strength and humility at the beginning to say there's a lot of good things going on at this football club, and didn't come in and say I want to change everything. He said, how can I improve this and how can I mould this into something a little bit more, like a Roberto De Zerbi team.
I think from the beginning to till now it's been incredible, and from day one he was like asking a lot from the players, so he was just demanding a lot on the pitch and get his style in the team.
I knew a little bit about him, but obviously not in detail, nothing about him as a person. That's a relationship you build, and when he arrives, he said he wants to help every single one improving, wants to put us on another level, and like you could see, he's here to make progress.
They found smart players, good guys. They follow me immediately. They respected me immediately.
A new era begins. They bid farewell to Graham Potter and waved hello to the Italian Roberto De Zerbi.
Anfield was incredible, no? Incredible day, incredible game. I had not too much time to think because in 2 days we prepared a game.
This is a positive bit of play here for Brighton, and straight away they get the goal, and it's Leandro Trossard. Up in for Trossard. Save our goal, is the second for Brighton.
The emotion we felt during the game because we were winning 2-0.
As the corner comes in, and it's bundled into.
Liverpool are in front after being 2 goals down.
After we were losing 3-2.
Well done. So March and now Midsummer looking to get that cross in. And it's a hat-trick for Trossard. And look at what it means to Roberto De Zerbi. 3-3.
Massive impact that game in myself.
So a point apiece for Liverpool and Brighton.
Listen, the first 5 games we didn't win, but we were playing very well.
Roberto De Zerbi, 5 games in, yet to pick up a victory. He's described today as must win.
I felt confidence because I believe if you play well, you can't lose every game.
Just lets them first win in the Premier League.
They want to play well for different reasons. They play well for themselves, for their teammates, for the fans, for the club, for their families, and they want to play well for the manager.
I can learn from him every single day. For me, like football school, I love the game as much as him. I love football. It's my passion.
As a character, I think Pascal is very close with me. Remember me when I was very young, before to start to play. My father is crazy for football. He's still crazy. Now he's 8 years, but he transferred me the passion for the football. And my mother was a teacher, Italian teacher at school. And you know, in my family there was a war between my mother and my father because I loved football, but my mother pushed me to the school to study. My home was 200 meters from the Brescia Stadium, and all days I went to the training ground to watch the training session of my team. We follow our team, Brescia, away at home. I've been a big fan of my team.
He comes through in the 90s. AC Milan from the same region as Brescia, Lombardy, and they already had a very attentive scouting system for their youth sector. So they were able to attract a lot of the best local young talent, and De Zerbi was certainly seen as one of those. He came through at AC Milan at a time when they were all-conquering in Europe.
It was incredible. I have still that moment inside me because I trained with the big players, Roberto Baggio, Mancini, Boban, Baresi, and I try to keep something, to take the mentality, to take the attitude on the behavior on the pitch.
AC Milan were the best team in the world at the time, so breaking through was very, very difficult. And it meant that he had to go and seek opportunity elsewhere. And that was difficult as well, because you see Roberto is a little bit of a journeyman, really. He goes from one club to another. Probably the only one he really settled in was Napoli. I think if you play as a number 10, you need to have a strength of character. And I think for Roberto, having that personality certainly was something that allowed him to find himself as a coach.
I started to think as a coach at the end of my career, when I suffered a lot of injuries. I started to think tactical disposition, tactical strategy. I studied a lot of Pep Guardiola.
I admire him a lot because the way he wanted to play in Italy is completely countercultural, and he survived and he applied it. And it doesn't matter what happened, he was able to go in every stadium in Italy and he imposed the way he's playing. I'm a big fan of him. I think for the English football it's really good that Roberto is here. I want to beat him, and I'm pretty sure he want to beat me, and this is what we have to do.
Roberto De Zerbi today faces a man in the dugout he has admired for so long. Ederson looking to release that ball into Erling Haaland. He's got it too. Erling Haaland scores for Manchester City. Bernardo Silva keeps going. Back out it goes to De Bruyne. Stunning goal from Kevin De Bruyne. And the full-time score here at the Etihad. Manchester City 3, Brighton 1.
I became a coach for one important part of this decision was Pep, because he's Barcelona, he's Bayern Munich, explain different style, different vision of football.
Roberto wanted to learn from Pep Guardiola. Obviously, he'd seen the work that he'd done at Barcelona and felt that they were kindred spirits. Pep was a number 6, Roberto was a number 10, but very much looking to play kind of possession-based football.
I have had a clear idea in my head, no? I knew what I wanted to do, no? I knew what was the style of my play, the style of my relationship with the players.
It's a really different kind of football, really. It's like so much tactics and so much, he asked for a lot of things. So I was like, a lot of training sessions I needed, and then I started like believing in the way we played.
I think that's why they came knocking on my door in the summer, and I think that's why I joined them, because we both thought that I would suit the style of play.
Oh, boys in what?
Probably at the start I wouldn't think that we can develop that quick, but I think we always improved every single year. We improved as a club, we improved in every single department, and I think we're on a good path.
Roberto has always had courage and conviction in his own ideas. You saw that right from the get-go in his coaching career as well. Someone had an incredibly clear identity.
I've enjoyed a lot in Foggia. I worked with an incredible group of players. I love that players. I had a similar relationship with that team, with the Brighton. After Foggia, I went to Palermo, and it was not a great experience.
Palermo, really fun club to go to, but they also had a really combustible owner, a guy called Maurizio Zamparini. And Zamparini, in 17 years as owner of Palermo, I think he sacked 31 coaches. It was Roberto's first opportunity to work in the top flight. I think it would be mad to pass that up, even though everyone knows that the owner is probably going to sack you. So his next gig is at Benevento.
Benevento was a great experience.
He's got a very clear idea of what players he wants, the players that would suit his style and allow him to play his football. And he can take that into the transfer market. So he can bring in Bacary, Sagna. Like the idea of signing someone who played for Arsenal and Man City to Benevento, this tiny club that had never been in Serie A, is just beyond most people's comprehension.
No one understood why I was going to Benevento, but I think today people understand a bit more. I was managed by probably one of the best coaches in the world at the minute. And I was surprised one of the first training sessions when he asks the players to commit. Because I heard commit so many times with Pep, and he's probably one of the first coach other than Pep that I heard saying this. Everything was so similar, and I was amazed. Honestly, I had the feeling to be at City, obviously with different infrastructures, different facilities, different club. But to me, it was copy-paste. People started respecting his name and knowing his name. So honestly, he brought so much to us players, not only as players, but as human beings.
His stock was very high after Benevento. People felt that he deserved a shot at another Serie A team, and that was Sassuolo.
In Sassuolo, I worked 3 years. The first year was very difficult. At the beginning of the second year, we brought a lot of very good players, and we closed 2 years in a row at 8th place on the table. We played a fantastic football.
I think for big clubs to look at Roberto then, certainly he was on their radar. I think he turned down other opportunities at bigger clubs than Sassuolo in order to kind of finish the job, if you like, that he'd started. and only moved when he was ready. And who could have foreseen what would happen next? And who knew his next move would end the way that it did?
Just lately, Roberto De Zerbi's team have looked a bit erratic. We're about to find out which Brighton and Hove Albion we will get to see today.
He wants to give every player the same amount of detail, that when they get their opportunity, he feels that he's given them the best chance to be successful and to perform.
Terrible opportunity, and it's into the back of the net from Enciso! Brighton take the lead at the Emirates!
He always wants to reach the next level. And I think for a player, that's really good, that's amazing.
It's going to fall to Undav here. Dennis Undav! And Brighton double their lead! Undav, who's full of confidence now, and followed up by Estupinian! And that's it now! Signed, sealed, and delivered! Brighton's celebrations will be long and they will be loud.
I think it's very difficult to ever know the impact of a head coach coming into the football club. And they were all pretty much across the board very, very good players, and Roberto's just taken that one step forward.
The most important is to find the connection, to find the team can have the same plan.
We speak about training, games, tactics, game plans, so much, like hours and hours and hours of educating, looking at little details.
His belief is contagious. The utter belief that he has in the way that we train, the way that we play, is so infectious that it brings people along.
People tune in to watch Brighton because they know they're going to get entertained, and they know they're going to see something new, something different in every game, because that's just how Roberto approaches it.
Brighton have been in the top 8 all season. The club that have never qualified for European football in their entire history have never been closer than this to doing so. Enciso. Oh, it's beautiful! Julio Enciso could hit that as often as he likes, but he'll never hit it better than that. Listen to the cheer of the Brighton supporters. It will be Europa League for Brighton next season. And overall, this will be very satisfactory, particularly for Roberto De Zerbi.
Before to choose the Shakhtar, I had a chance to stay in Italy in another big team. But my dream was working football, not only in my country. Shakhtar has been the best team in terms of characteristic of the players, because we worked very well in transfer market session. The owner was incredible with me. I think that Shakhtar could become one great team. Shakhtar has been the closer team, respect my philosophy of football. Incredible players, incredible skills. I had another important relationship with them. Unfortunately, we closed the experience in a bad way.
It must have been an exceptionally difficult time for him and his staff and the players, and he absolutely would not leave Kiev until he knew that all of the foreign players were out and were safe, and it absolutely shows a lot about the man.
Listen, in that days I thought the players could be my children. I thought as a father, as a parent, not as a coach. There were a lot of young Brazilian players in my hotels with their family. And I think the best decision was to wait they could leave, and then I organized my travel.
A situation that no football coach, I think, expects to find themselves, and certainly wanted to be there for his players as long as he could. Before obviously having to take the decision reluctantly to leave Shakhtar and develop his coaching career elsewhere.
I received the offer from Turkey, French, Italy, Greece, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't in the right condition to work, to start, because I needed much time to analyze the last situation, to understand, to accept the end of that experience. But I know very well what I need to work, what I need to wake up happy in the morning.
Excitement amongst Brighton fans as they make their first pilgrimage to the annex of the season, a campaign that will see them play in the Europa League after Roberto De Zerbi led them to their highest ever league finish of 6th in his first campaign in charge. It's back with Matoma, the cross clipped in, Brighton have the breakthrough, Solly March with the header. As the Peña breaks in behind the Luton defence, rolls it across goal. It's the 4th goal of the afternoon. Roberto De Zerbi's side making a winning start to the campaign, a campaign in which so much is expected from them. Brighton winners this afternoon by 4 goals to 1.
He makes you want to be the best you can be. So I think you go the extra mile. I think when I'm driving home or when I'm at home, I'm constantly thinking about how can I improve myself to enable to support the gaffer better.
For me, not knowing Roberto before he came here, he's changed my career in terms of how I see the game.
He helped me massively, understanding even better how I can help the team, so I become a better player.
He made so much players better, he made me better. He improved the club a lot, so yeah, all credits to him.
On his way, advantage played, he's going all the way!
I think he pushes everyone at the club to go as far as they can. Certainly, we don't have ceilings at this football club, but he certainly doesn't have one. And he pushes all of us at the club to try and be bigger and better and as good as we can be, and that's great.
He's someone whose ideas are compatible with the very best clubs in the world.
I've said many times, and I advise many clubs to be on him, on his case, to take him as a coach. And it's football, you know, but today he's at Brighton and you feel the love in the club, and this is why Brighton is shining.
Brighton Hove Albion are on their way to Europe.
Hopefully the club can keep him at the club for a long time, because I think that will be difficult because he's so good. But I don't think it affects the gaffer in any way. I just think he concentrates on being the best he can be for Brighton Football Club and trying to keep improving the club.
An historic achievement for Roberto De Zerbi's side.
He can have moments with the staff, with the players where he enjoys, and celebrate those moments when we've had real success. But yeah, that celebration lasts for 10 minutes and then it's on to the next one.
We're very fortunate to have him at the club, and we love having him at the club, and long may that continue.
My ambition is work in my way, work and to be happy while I'm working, and to keep the mentality to improve day by day, to discover new things day by day. Yeah.